Hey everybody, it's Casual Boops coming at you with another video, and today we're going to cover the Rhm Borsig, the Rheinmetall Borsig, or just the Borsig, which is one of the two Tier 8 German tank destroyers on the tech tree, the other one being the Ferdinand, which we don't talk about. And the Rhm Borsig is the one that comes right after the Sturrer ammo, and is going to be quite a breath of fresh air if you're working your way up that line. The Borsig is great, one of my favorite Tier 8 tanks on the tech tree, to be honest. And yeah, we'll get right into it now. So basically, the thing that's interesting, or especially nice about the Borsig, is that most tanks in this game have a stock grind that is awful, or some are better than others, but usually it's not good. And the Borsig is one of the few that is not necessarily the case. The stock grind is very good, to be honest, because the Borsig gets two guns that are both usable. Both you could make the argument for using either one. The one that you start with is a 128 that is the similar gun that you get on the Scorpion G. Hits for 490, it's got pretty good penetration, pretty good accuracy, good DPM. So you start with this, and it's very usable. Now, obviously, you'll get upgrades for the engine and the tracks and so on to make things a little bit faster, because otherwise it is a little on the slow side, and even with the upgraded engine, the Borsig is not a speed demon. But, you know, you start with a gun that can do things, which is notable. So we'll start with that, and I'll just say, like, again, you get 490 alpha, good penetration, the accuracy is fine, you get a full turret, which again, after coming from the Sturrer ammo, is just such a breath of fresh air. It's just incredible. It feels good. So the 128 is pretty solid. I will just say that the crew layout does not match the Scorpion G. If you buy the Scorpion G hoping to do that training, I think the Scorpion G is the weird one where it has like doesn't have a loader, and the radio operator and the loader duties are both taken on by the commander. I can't wait for them to fix that crap in Crew 2.0. But anyways, this is a standard 4-man crew, and so it's not going to fit perfectly in a Scorpion G. But anyways, it has a full turret, 5 degrees of gun depression all over the place, and a solid, you know, 128 centimeter or 128 millimeter gun. And then with an APCR for premium rounds that do 311 penetration. This is good, right? The trouble is, I personally like the other gun because this makes it hard to trade. You have 0 armor, and so if you're stuck in a city map and you have 490 alpha, that's okay, but against tier 10s in a city map, it becomes a lot less attractive. So the other option, which I like because I like big numbers, is the 15 centimeter, the big Chungus. And it has lower standard penetration, right? Instead of 246, you get 215. Your DPM is a lot lower, as it should be. Your aim time, your accuracy stats are a lot lower, and so on and so forth. But good lord, does it hit hard? It just hits like an absolute truck. To be able to slap somebody for 750 average, or if you find a something lightly armored, you can hit for 950 stupid damage at tier 10, or I'm sorry, at tier 8. It feels like you can then trade. Because not everything has 750 average damage, and later in the game, when you need the alpha to kill something, this gun has the alpha to kill things. But again, the accuracy stats are not as good. So that's both guns. You can make an argument for both guns. Personally, I like the big gun because if you're going to use the small gun, you might as well be in a Scorpion G. But anyways, they're both notable, and also the heat rounds in the 15 centimeter have 334 millimeters of stupid penetration. So if you can get over the low shell velocity and you just chuck it down range and get lucky, it's pretty funny. Yeah, so that's the tank, I guess, in its two configurations. Personally, I run, like I said, I run the 15 centimeter, and the trick to that thing is just getting the gun to behave. And so this is debatable, but I personally run, a rammer, an IRM, and then I think a gun laying drive, just trying to get the thing to behave. But it's got an open top, so you can't run vents. You could make the argument for binoculars just so you can spot for yourself, or again, even the low noise exhaust, just because it's you're trying to min-max the fact that this thing is meant to be played in a bush. This standard camo on this thing with nothing else, not even a good crew, is 22.5%, which is incredible. Like some medium tanks, even with full camo crews, don't even get to this level. So with nothing, doing no work, you get that. So just to give you an idea, if you have a crew that has concealment and nothing else, boom, 40% camo. I mean, it's just silly. So you become god tier awesome if you even invest any amount of, like, if your crew is very good, things start to get really out of hand really fast, right? So this is, you have a pretty good crew, 43%. Now obviously when you shoot, it goes to crap. So if this is as it should with a big gun like this, you are gonna, once you shoot, you're gonna be seen, unless you're using bush mechanics and so on. But if you were to be able to put on the low noise exhaust, 48% camo, like this is even 90 levels of stupid, right? So this is meant to be played in a bush, and if you do that, I don't recommend the camo net, because you have to sit very, very still, and then even when you shoot, you're still at 8%, so you're still going to be spotted after you shoot with a camo net. So I would not run a camo net on anything ever, personally, but especially not on a Borsig. Do the binoculars if you want to be spotting things for yourself, but you don't. The benefits from the camo net are not really that substantial, especially because you're going to eventually shoot your gun, right? It's not like an even 90 where your job really isn't to shoot the gun. So maybe you could make the argument for a camo net on that. But anyways, I'm getting a little bit lost in the weeds here. The point is, I like to run mine a little more up front and a little more like trying to make the gun behave. But you can make the argument for min-maxing camo or getting the view range to the point where you can spot for yourself, or just make the gun behave, So these are, I think it's a little bit debatable. Going on to the armor. The armor is, there is no armor. There's no armor. This is all auto pen against the 15 centimeter, even with the 12.8 centimeter, there's no armor. It's got this, the only time you're not penning this thing is if you hit it in the tracks, and if you're in like an HE round, or you hit it in the barrel itself. It has this gun shield on top that's easy to hit. But at the same time, it's very flat, it's very small, low profile, and it's got a full turret, so you can use the bushes however you will. It's worth noting that if you are using this thing and in a bush, if you have the tank like this and you're seeing through the bush, the turret, I'm trying to say here, the hull is rather long, so you want to be careful that you're not sitting in a bush that's like this, but then the front or the back is sticking out of the bush, because the points where the game checks to see whether you're spotted or not are, I believe, at the front of the hull and the back of the hull and the top of the turret and all these things. So like, if your front is sticking out the side of a bush, you will be spotted. So just pay attention to the fact that the tank is bigger than just what you can see. If you're aiming at something, you'll just see through a bush. You won't necessarily see that you've got the front sticking out. So pay attention to that. Otherwise, it is very low profile, and it's a ninja camo tank, which can be very useful. If your scouts die, you can use your camouflage to go from bush to bush and even spot for the for your team and play the scout role, just because you have such good camouflage. But that's hard to do. So anyways, I think I've covered the gun and the equipment and the armor that is non-existent, and then without further ado, we'll get into the gameplay. Alright, so we are watching Fuzzy Psycho play his Rhm Borsig on Ruinberg, and I picked this game because Fuzzy Psycho's using the big gun, and he's very patiently, he's got his binoculars, he's be able to spot out down the line. He's going to look for some easy shots. It's a tier 10 game, there is artillery, but we're in a city map, and a lot of people will think, okay, so he decided to take the shot down the line there and just see what he could find, and blind fired. But now there's a 4005 that's still there and doesn't appear to realize the danger of sitting or going down that line. So we'll wait for it. And oh my lord, this is why we play the big gun on the Borsig. I picked this game because a lot of people will think, oh, it's a city map, so therefore I'm in a camo-sniper, so my game is over. And I want to demonstrate, or I guess Fuzzy Psycho will demonstrate, why that's not always the case. Even against tier 10s, there's a chieftain in the game. You can still do good things. And everything that Fuzzy Psycho's about to do could be done with a small gun, but it's just, sometimes in this game you are given a limited window of opportunity to make a play. And the big gun just makes those opportunity windows that much more impactful. You have, maybe one opportunity to hit one shot, and, the big gun lets you capture it and not, you know. Oh my god! And somehow that hits. Fuzzy Psycho is able to land the shot on the side of that chieftain, you know, and the Mod 1 is up, or the T-54 is up there by himself, and he's dead. He's gone. But these guys are pushing around the top, and Fuzzy Psycho's, you know, he's using the camouflage. See, he's spotted when he shoots, but otherwise, when he's just able to just sit here and let's just lay the pain down and get unspotted, and then poke back out and use the camouflage to his advantage. And Fuzzy Psycho hasn't even used heat rounds in this game yet. I would have probably switched to heat a long time ago, but you can see, you know, he's got opportunities here, and oh my god, as long as you let the gun lay in and let it behave, it does what you ask. And I will say the chieftain shot was a little cheeky, and maybe that probably was just luck, but at the same time, these have landed, you know. As long as you're not trying to throw shots downrange that haven't been aimed in, the gun will behave, you know. So we're just gonna wait for the more victims. Wait for it, it's all about patience. All about patience. This Type 61 doesn't seem to know what danger he's in. And as long as... Oh my god, 844. What a roll. And so we're still, you know, the Type 61 must not have been paying attention, or must not be aware of the danger that he faces while being there. But you can see, once you've been spotted, or once you've been shot, you're spotted, right? So Fuzzy Psycho correctly then backs up and gets safe, and then gets unspotted, and then reloads. And then, because he has such good camouflage, he's able to... Oh my god, lay the pain down, get out and get unspotted again before poking out, and then they can't spot him because he hasn't shot. So just by playing like this and using this massive alpha of the 15cm gun, he's able to still be useful as a tier 8 in a tier 10 game in a city map. And this is why I like the Borsig, and I like the Borsig with the 15cm. And you have the camo, and I don't think you'd be able to play like this with a oh, is he gonna... Alright, we're paying it. Fuzzy Psycho's a little bit target fixated on the Type 61. There was an IS-3 that I think he probably could have shot, but these, I don't think that Fuzzy Psycho would have been able to do what he's doing now in a Scorpion G, because the camo of the Scorpion G is not nearly as good. It does have better mobility. The Scorpion G is still a great tank, and you're seeing now, like, this, the Borsig is, it's topping out about 35, right? So this is like heavy tank speeds. She's not the fastest girl at the show, at the prom, but you know, it'll get you there. It's not like you're not a T95. So there's pluses and minuses, but the camo here has been what has kept Fuzzy Psycho able to be useful, I think, in this game. And he hasn't even shot, I don't know if he hasn't shot any, but he definitely hasn't shot a lot of heat rounds. And this Waffle now has to take Fuzzy Psycho out of the game before he reloads. Unless you have backup. I don't know, we must not have spotted the T95, and the T30's not paying attention, and we clean it up. So it just goes to show, with anything that shoots for 750, Fuzzy Psycho has shot 7 times. I think he's hit 7 targets. He's got 5,000 damage. And it's... Okay, yeah, and so you can see here, the artillery is going to be the enemy, right? Because you definitely don't have a lot of... You don't have a lot of armor at all. So if you get spotted and you get clicked on, you are going to have a bad time. But at the same time, the thing can really, really lay down the pain, and you can even spot your own targets and play bush mechanic voodoo games if people don't know where you are or how the game works. So, all right. So at the end of the game, Fuzzy Psycho managed to pick up 5,400 damage, 2 kills, and I don't think any assistance whatsoever. And that came down to the high caliber ace tanker, tank sniper, and Confederate. And it landed, I guess, that ended up earning Fuzzy Psycho 1,323 base XP, which is really good. You know, he was shooting a lot of tier 10s and a lot of higher tier tanks, and you know, I'm sure there are games out there of Borsig having more damage and using camo better, I suppose, and you know, laps on Prokhorovka where they sit in a bush and all day and snipe and rack up massive damage. But I picked this game specifically because this was on a city map, and I wanted people to understand how you can use tanks that have no armor in city maps to great effect. And so hopefully this is somewhat educational. And I think, you know, he just kind of used one position, but at the same time it shows you the concept is try to put yourself in a position where if, you know, where when enemies go where you expect them to go, they get punished, right? And at the end of the game there, Fuzzy Psycho managed to, I guess, net a profit of 70,000 credits. Even if he didn't have a premium account, he would have managed to pick up 49,000 credits. I guess there was a mission payout or whatever. So, you know, I think he probably would have been up maybe 12,000 credits because he didn't shoot any heat rounds and he landed all the shots that he shot. So, yeah, you can make money if you land your shots. Is the name of the game here with the 15 centimeter especially. So, that's it. It's a short video today, and thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully this illuminated you, or I guess incentivized you to go down the Grill 15 line, and you know, once you get through the Borsig or through the Emil, the Stur Emil, life gets a lot easier. The Borsig is a fun tank, and you'll enjoy your time in it, I think. And maybe we'll do the Waffle next. So, all right, thanks, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.